Hello guys, welcome back to another Monday night. It's good to see you.
Hi guys, how are you today? So today, as always, we're gonna answer all your questions about international marriage and dating.
Well, yeah, let's start with dating. We'll get to marriage at some point.
Dating and marriage.
We do have a poll question for you tonight. So let's talk about body language. We covered this subject briefly a few times here and there, so let's have the whole show dedicated to it. So the question is, have you ever misread a woman's body language on a date? Because, you know, in every culture it's a little different, so let's talk about it. Guys, share your experiences when you totally misunderstood what women meant. And, you know, I was preparing for a webcast. I was reading some articles on that just to, you know, read some scientific research to add my observation throughout the years. And I read a few things, so we can start with, you know, a little bit of statistics here and there about dating, and then we're gonna read your questions and also get to, you know, get to it. So let's talk about, so one of the things that scientists say that a good sign of body language, somebody is into you, it's obviously body leaning either towards you or turn towards you, so some open pose, you know. So have you noticed, have the girls doing it on a date a lot?
She cannot hear you.
Yeah, that's a good thing in this verse. Maybe she doesn't like you, she just can't hear a word you're saying.
Or now, when it's coronavirus, probably everybody will just lean back. So
good point, good point.
Understood. So, but body language, of course, is very important if she doesn't speak English. I mean, I see first date, you guys take like a translator with you, but you cannot take it on like an every date with you, and body language is very important, and actually it helps because I didn't speak any English, and my husband, we went with him on like so many dates without me speaking English, and I think body language is very important, and it's really easy to communicate, you know, with body language.
Yeah, I definitely can relate to that. When I first came to the States, I really didn't speak English, well, pretty much. So, but I still need to communicate with people, so they call it, you know, the way I communicated was, you know, with my arms and face, they call it bird language. I still do it in the office.
Like even like maybe 5 years ago, if you ask a kid, show me, call me, like a show me sign of call me, and they say like this, and now the kid's doing like this.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, even ask me.
Oh, yeah, makes sense. Yeah,
one,
the generation thing.
Mia, call me. Like, show me how you call me. She said. So,
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, the another thing is, you know, related to that, she's mirroring your moves. So you're sitting in this pose, and she, you know, sits in exactly the same pose. You know, you're sitting like this, and she's doing that. So she's subconsciously just copying your pose, so trying to make you like her. Let's see what other signs are there. Obviously, direct eye contact, but I haven't noticed that necessarily be true, because not everybody can just, you know, stare at each other for a long period of time, and you know, some women can be shy, so she might like you, but she just will not look you in the eye for that exact reason. And
yeah,
actually,
we always say, like, if a person looking at you and talk to you like to your face, it's mean she's telling truth. If she walks like or looks around, it means she's lying. But I don't think so. I mean, shy person will never look straight to face, I think.
Yeah, so I wouldn't say it's common for everybody, maybe for certain girls, but I would not apply it to 100% of populations in this case. But I noticed one thing that was interesting on that list is that a woman will remove physical objects between you and her. So you're at the dinner table and there is like salt and pepper or whatever. So she's going to be moving that out of the way, just, you know, so there'll be nothing between you and her, nothing dividing it against it. She subconsciously will be doing it, you know, to get closer to you.
What does it mean? I mean, she's interested?
Yeah, she's interested, so she likes you. She, you know, she can't move like this closer.
She's moving stuff around?
No, she's just removing physical objects that's in the way.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And of course, if she's holding your hand,
well,
it's a good
yes.
sign, right?
Oh yeah, physical touch. Basically, even the saying, Eastern European women in general are pretty reserved, which is tend to be true, and they might not necessarily feel comfortable.
I said cold-hearted, little bit cold-hearted, and Anna said reserved.
That's
It doesn't mean she's really cold-hearted, like
Yeah.
in life. It's just, in first date.
Yeah. So, and some people definitely will not be comfortable with you touching them on the first date, which is fine. But maybe little touch that there's no pressure to it. So when you open the door, you can accidentally touch her arm, and just see how she reacts. Will she move away, or she will just keep her hand right there, so just see the reaction. What else would you add to that?
Well, dancing, but
Yeah, if you like at the social, and obviously she's dancing close to you, I mean that's definitely a good sign. So you cannot misread that body language for sure. Also read some other interesting stat, not necessarily related to body language, but still related to dating. I just wanted to share that. It says that on average a man need to go on 100 dates before a couple gets married. So it doesn't have to be 100 dates with different individuals, or maybe, but at least there gotta be about 100 dates plus minus before you guys commit to get married. Another thing
maybe not an international date.
Yes,
You don't
yes,
have
that's
time
true.
And it's really difficult. So
Well, if you go to social, here's your 100 dates all at once. So right after the social, you can go straight to the wedding palace.
you mean 100 dates with same woman?
Well,
or with different?
both actually. So they included 100 dates all together with the same woman and other individuals. So I guess you just by the date number 100, you're so sick of it, you just probably want to settle down with whatever's available. I'll take what I get.
Okay, you're my 100 today.
Yep,
We are
you're
getting
lucky
married.
winner. Yes.
Ta-da.
Here's the ring. Here's your medal of honor. And also, as far as dating, it says most of the couples break up after 3 or 5 months dating. So when you guys traveling to meet one woman, that's why we tell people don't put all eggs in one basket. Try to meet as many people as possible. So even though things, get just going great between two of you right now, maybe in 3 months, a lot of couples just part ways for different reasons. So if you don't have, somebody else's phone numbers and backup plans, you'll be back to square one. So we'll have to start search process again. But if you have other people's contact information, you can always
we guys
reconnect.
strongly recommend it to that, because it doesn't mean if you have a strong relationship in the letter, it doesn't mean you guys will like each other in person. It's totally could be opposite. So, and you will take your vacation time. Travel so long, it's so difficult now because you have to wear a mask, there's tests. So of course we strongly recommend at least 5 girls. And find the 5 girls. Like, it's okay if you meet one and everything will go fine, we're really happy for you. But if not, you'll be disappointed, and then you might meet your destiny like in the second girl, third or fourth or fifth.
And also scientists recommend to really think about the date, venue, whatever it is you're doing on the first or second date better. First date maybe not as comfortable, but if it's very interesting, very unusual place or some unusual activities, that will make a date not only more memorable, but also will increase the physical attraction somehow. So, when date is very exciting, it will increase your chances. So use your creativity, guys.
Hey, bowling always will work, You can
I
help her to carry the ball.
I don't know. I guess if you're
tight
excellent.
for shoes, that's fun, and it's fun.
Never thought about bowling in that way, huh?
We went to bowling on a second date, so that was fun. It was really nice.
Ah, interesting. And one more thing to add, actually it was something interesting for me when I learned that, so men realize that they start falling in love with someone after the 3rd date. For a woman, it takes 14 dates usually. So on average, 14 dates for a woman to fall in love with the guy. So you can tell how it can be different. So you can say, oh, she's very standoffish on the first or second date. Well, that explains it, because it just takes a little longer for her. So women brain process a little different than men. So I guess something for you guys to think about.
And only 7 minutes to decide if she even go to you on the second date. So she might, will take time to decide if she will get married to you 14 dates. But in 7 minutes she'll decide if you're a good match to her.
Yes.
So it's a little bit different.
Yeah, so no, she will figure out whether she likes you or not, right away. But whether she would want to make you a long-term partner and date you for a long time, that will take time. She would need to see if you're marriage material and develop the physical attraction and etc.
Yeah. All right, guys. Let's see your
what you have.
experience. Let's
Yes.
see what you think. From Gary, hello from watching recent travel updates from Philippines. It does not appear to look good right now.
Oh yeah, unfortunately. Yeah, travel updates, my favorite part, guys, somehow I forgot. So yeah, not much new in Philippines, the same thing as the last week. Quarantine is required upon arrival, so I doubt we're gonna have the August tour. We'll wait a little longer, see if something changes, because things change. So hypothetically it still can happen, but I really don't expect that. October, then Davao might happen though. So we'll see. Thailand is about the same as last week. There is still quarantine is required upon arrival to Bangkok. Phuket is a little different, but I don't know how many of you guys are willing to travel to Phuket, so it's again different situation there. China closed, no news, no idea when it's gonna be open up. I don't have a crystal ball, so it's about the same. Good news from Colombia, PCR test is no longer required to travel to Colombia, so is Costa Rica, so you guys can go on a plane and just go. Peru is a little complicated because, well, first of all, there is a curfew in place, so if you go there, if you make it to the country, there is PCR test required, there is another test required upon arrival within the first date, otherwise you will be quarantined. So as long as you just keep that fun. There is a curfew in place, so it will affect your dating life, so plan accordingly. Plus, a lot of women will not, there's pretty big bad epidemic situation in the country, so a lot of women will not be willing to go out on dates. So if you're traveling to meet 1 or 2 ladies, check with them if they're comfortable to go out on a date right now. If they are, well, then go ahead and be my guest. Russia still on lockdown, no news, no idea. Belarus is hypothetically open, but there is 10-day quarantine upon arrival. Plus, well, it's hard to fly to Belarus because of some political events. So, for the most of it, borders are closed. You can make it there, but it's challenging. Ukraine, great news for those of you guys that missed last week's news. PCR test no longer required to travel to Ukraine as long as you're vaccinated. All you need to have is your wonderful vaccination card with you. If you're not vaccinated, then you still have to do either 72 hours PCR test, 72 hours prior to arrival, not departure, arrival to Ukraine, or antigen test, which is good news. They added that because that one is much quicker, much cheaper, and then it's available in more places. So yeah, so that's the news. But anyway, let's check other questions.
All right, from Roy, from Lewiston, Idaho. Hello, lovely ladies. If I go to the social and meet a woman that I want to marry, how many times should I go back to her country to visit her and her family before bringing her to the U.S.? I'll say 3 times. You'll probably have to go back 2 or 3 times because you will need proof your strong relationship with her to the embassy, so you will need to make a lot of pictures. So if you're planning not to go so often, just change your clothes and just make a lot of pictures in a different clothes, but you'll have to go back 2 or 3 times.
Yeah, I'd say it's a good number on average. Of course, everybody's different and it's hard to generalize. And for some countries, like Philippines, could be less. For some countries like Ukraine, could be more. So just depends on the person. If you cannot travel to your country, you can always take vacation. So even a week vacation somewhere together with the third place, will give you more knowledge about each other in daily life than 2 or 3 trips to her country. So it's something to think about.
yeah, they say if you want to know a person, you'll go on vacation with her. So.
Yes. From Todd, if I attend your socials and find somebody special and she wants me, how expensive is a typical wedding in Ukraine? I'm a man of humble but comfortable means, but I don't have the money to spend thousands and thousands of dollars on a wedding. Well, good news, you don't have to. I mean, there are ways to make it budget. So you would need to talk to a lady about it, how many people she wants to invite. Maybe she just wants to do this with, immediate family and close friends. So in this case, you will not spend a lot, and there are, cheap ways to do it. Or yeah, maybe it's something she was dreaming of all her life. So again, that's something to talk about her. That's hard to answer. The average budget for the wedding.
Yeah, it depends on the girl. Maybe her dream wedding in somewhere in the island. You and her. So. It's of course it's up to girl. You need to ask her, talk to her about that.
Yeah, or maybe it's she'll be married before, second time she might not necessarily care about it. One more. On the first wedding she'll already spend tons of money. Figure out that's not bringing happiness to the marriage. So might as well.
Also, she understand you're not from her country, so you probably will want to. Wedding here too, and you can do small there and big here, or just two of you somewhere. So it's of course up to you.
And actually, I've read more stats, guys. I've read the stats somewhere that the couples that spend a lot of money on the wedding, actually like ridiculous amount of money on the wedding, about 80% of them get divorced because this unreasonable money puts so much stress and tension on the family. So it's just they cannot make it. So family doesn't last exactly because of the expensive wedding. So.
Yeah. From Daniel, I'm from Erie, Pennsylvania, United States, 62 years old. Would women in their early 30s be interested in dating me? How often must a guy talk? Oops, sorry guys, I just jumped in. Talk. Okay, talk with a woman once they're interested in each other.
Well,
so where are you going? If you go to Ukraine, no. We won't recommend more than 20-year age difference. And if you go to Philippines, it'll be easier for you to find a woman in her 30s. And how often must a guy talk with a woman? As many as you want,
Yeah, as many as she can,
Yeah.
as much as your and her schedule permits. So,
Not too much, because we have a time difference. If you go to Ukraine, morning for her, it's going to be evening for her. Morning for you, going to be evening for her, and vice versa. So she's probably going to be at work, and you're texting her, so it's going to bother her. Not too much, not.
I think you will feel it if you talking too much. She will tell you, hey, let's slow down. I have 3 jobs. I have stuff going on, so let's just take it easy. But on the other hand, if she's interested, she will be, communicating with you. She would
with
know.
respect, and just make sure you're not calling or texting her in the middle of the night. So make sure you know time difference.
Yes, but that's actually important because a lot of guys just forget about it. From Casey, a question. I'm healthy 22-year-old male and I prefer older women, define older. What are my chances with 25, 35-year-old Ukrainian women? Your honest opinion. Well, we'll see what Dina's opinion on the subject. I think it might be a little challenging because, they're gonna judge you based on their life experience, not because who you are and what you have to offer. But because, maybe 25 is a little easier, but 35, she'll look at you like, adopting you, because, in their experiences, Ukrainian men are immature, even at the age of 35, they're just moving out from their parents' house straight to the, wife's house, so just to get another mother there, so, and that's the situations they want to avoid. So they will not, it will be hard for them to believe that, 22 years old will be serious, mature, and ready for the family. So, you can give it a try, but be prepared. So I probably would stick to ladies in their mid-20s. You can ask some women in their mid-30s out, but most likely, it's not gonna, not gonna go far. What do you think?
Yeah, I think they're not met a lot of foreign guys 22 years old, so of course they're going to judge on their experience. And guys, they're not mature at age. They could even get married, but they're still not mature. No responsibility, no stability, nothing. But it's of course it's depending on you. So are you responsible? You have like a good life here. So yeah, it depends. But yeah, you should not go over like 25 probably.
From James, I'm getting excited for the Kyiv tour next month that I will be attending. I'm having problems trying to pare down my list to 15 women. Well, and by the way, when you submit the list, make sure it's women from your destination city, because some guys send me lists of people from all over the map, not even Ukraine,
Russia.
Belarus and Russia. I'm like, people, have you even looked at the map? So whatever your destination city is, please send me, your list from there. So even if you're doing a group tour, individual tour, whatever you're doing, it has to be people from your destination city. So let's just, make everybody's life easier, because women from, far away not gonna travel to meet you unless you have really long established correspondence. They know who you are, they're comfortable meeting you. Then yes, that's a little different situation. And again, they're not going to be traveling just for the social, because, well, it doesn't make sense to spend 8 hours on the train to go to a party, sleep on the train station, and go back home, the next day. Well, no party worth it, realistically.
Yeah, I think what's most important for you. Does she need to speak English, or does she like a closer to your age, blonde or brunette?
Redhead.
You like
redhead.
Redhead? Yeah.
Speaking of the tour, too, I forgot to add, actually, we had, as I expected, a couple last-moment cancellations. So as of this morning, we had one spot on Kyiv tour, and I think, I think one more on Odessa. So I'm not positive it's still in place, but if somebody still wants to jump on Kyiv or Odessa tour last moment, contact Michelle. She has in our group tour department, she has the full list, so she can tell you whether you can join or not. But there is a possibility, so don't wait. Call Michelle. You can call me, but it's better call Michelle.
From Chris, question tonight: do we get the organized day trips on a tour, such as I'm wanting to explore the volcano and zip line, then also see both coasts of Costa Rica?
So basically, there are some tours that's going to be included in the price of your tour, but it's most like city tour. Trips to a volcano or islands or all that happy stuff, yeah, it's doable. Staff can set it up for you. There's going to be an extra charge, obviously, for the tour. If they don't provide those tours themselves, they will just have the, local tour operator set it up for you, so that's not a problem. So it's doable, yeah, just for a little extra charge. Shouldn't be, depending on what you do and how long is the tour. So most of those tours like this run between $50 to $150. From Theo, I'm 68. Realistically, how young should I try to date in Ukraine or Russia? Well, what do you think, Dina?
48 and up.
Yeah, I think it's overall, yeah, I would say 40, 45 and up, just to make it easier. But I would say stick to mid-30s and up. You can always lower your age limit expectations, but the problem is the expectations probably will not met. And even if you find someone, with mutual interest, chances those things will fall apart, at some point, very, very, very high. So the question is, you'll date for a year or so, then you break up. Do you really want to, start the same process again, in a couple of years from now? You probably want to meet someone with whom you'll be for the rest of your days. So choose wisely.
You have to have a girl with same lifestyle, with same interests. The chemistry have to be there. So I won't recommend more than 20 years each anyway. So okay, from Irene. Of course, missing a Q is called a learning curve.
Yeah, well, I guess. From Akisik, poll question answer, yes, right after I got commissioned in the Navy. Oh, hold on. Just lost you for 1 second, Akisik, we'll get back to you. Right after I got commissioned in the Navy, I came home on leave and wore my uniform to a nightclub. A girl started asking me about uniform and I thought she was interested. But when I started to talk coquettishly with her, she quickly withdrew. Well, I don't know, maybe it's just a maybe just flirting. Not everybody meant to flirt. Not everybody has the...
You just had a very nice uniform.
So you just need to have flirting skills too. So.
Yeah. From Adam, I notice many women on the site from Ukraine are divorced with children. Why do you think so many married couples break up in Ukraine?
Because, well, there's a lot of reasons for that. Again, so many people get divorced. First of all, it's really easy to get divorced. It's not like United States where, you're just dividing the property, kids, life, and, it can take years for all this fun. In Ukraine, there's 30 days, things don't work out. 30 days, there's really usually no property to divide, so you just go sign papers and everybody part ways because kids are staying with the mother anyway. I don't know, she needs to be like complete drug addict or something horrible is wrong with her in order for the father to get the custody of a child. It's nearly unheard of. So there's nothing to divide, they just part ways, so it's easy. But the reasons what leads to divorce is different, a lot of guys drinking or, using drugs. Unfaithful, a lot of them, it's just so infidelity is the most common reason. So women just don't want to put up, the smart, self-respecting women. They really take care of themselves. So they want a husband who will love, respect them, and treat them right. And when you get this in a house, what's the point of putting up with that? So they just part ways. What do you think?
Yeah, and a lot of pressure from the family, and girls getting married young before even they start, really dating, or choose guys, and guys getting married young too. They're immature, so no jobs because the economy not good, so a lot of stress on them. Of course, it's I think that's why more girls than boys. So guys have a lot of opportunity to cheat.
Yeah, don't even need to put any effort in it. Here at least you have to try.
It's a difficult life. Girls have to work like 3 jobs. Guys cannot find a work there because the economy not good. Girls can find jobs, and
girls can find them because they used to from early childhood. The way boys are raised in the family and the way girls raised in the family is totally different things. A girl, she's little. She got to do dishes. She got to clean. She's got to cook. Whatever. She has a long list of responsibilities.
Yeah.
A boy. Like, he can be 10, he can be 15, he'll come home, he doesn't even know how to heat up his food in a microwave. He's like, what? And his mother will be, oh, no, it's okay, don't worry, I'll take care of you, I will do everything for you. He has no responsibility, so once he's thrown at adult life and he actually has to work, do things, he's not used to it, it's the first failure. He just gives up. They're really not fighters for the most of it. And women, since they're used to all this since early childhood, they keep working hard. So something fails, you get fired, or something like this. Well, they get up and keep pushing. That's why Ukrainian women are so strong, and men are not necessary.
Yeah, I think Ukrainian women or Russians, they baby those sons so bad, and they're so immature. I mean, not all of them, of course not, but big part of them, so very immature, and they get divorced and go back to mom, live with mom, you know.
Until they find a new girl and move on with new girl, and then just repeat the circle.
Very irresponsible, and not much.
But again, it doesn't cost, the divorce doesn't cost them, and they're not gonna, lose half of their property in life.
And mom's so happy to get them back, and they put so much pressure on their daughter-in-law, so it's happened all the time there.
Yeah, daughter-in-law is pretty much never gonna be as good as, whatever the mom was imagining in her head, so it's hard to compete.
Okay, from Melvin. What is that? Story of our lives. Here we go. From Melvin. Always nice seeing our sultry Slavic host, Anna and Dina. How does its station look in Ukraine? I hear some areas are about to go green, which is a good thing for the tour next month.
Yeah, so far so good. Knock on wood. We'll see. So tour is happening so far. My suitcase is packed. Social is looking good. We change in some venues just to have like more outdoor space because it's still pandemic, so we try to have at least outdoor and patio option available. So we'll see. From Nathan. When will social only return? Right now I heard I have to buy a group tour to participate. In the past I have attended a socials only client. Well, I get this, I get this question a lot, and I don't think this year we will have socials only because of pandemic and limitations on the social venue. So until we're back to 100% capacity at the social venue, until then we're not going to have social. And right now they increased it from 50 to 75%, but still, even in order to accommodate guys at the required social distance, we had to limit number of tour participants and women that can attend the social. So it will be not fair for the guys, to deny those guys who want to do a full tour just to allow, guys who want to come in just for the social. So we definitely have to give the priority to, to the full tour clients for this year. So check with us next year. If the requirements change, we'll be happy to accommodate you.
From Ducati, I've heard that instead of PCR test, you can show proof of vaccination. Also, if you were going to get PCR test, how do you get one within 72 hours if it takes 3 days to get results?
There are rapid tests available in many places. You just need to find the rapid test in your area. It does cost money, so in the result, in some places available from few hours to a day. 2 days max, but the price varies from $100 to $300, so just hard for me to tell what they have in your area. But the good thing is they also added antigen test as well, so antigen tests are much faster, and overall for the most of places around like $60-70, so that's not a big deal usually. From Chris, yes, I have, and hopefully I'm able to go on a date with her, Julia, again while I'm in Odessa. We did go on 2 dates, and I had a great time with her. I did feel like there was chemistry between us. We went to catacombs on our second date. Well, that's definitely a good idea for a date, yeah, Chris. Hopefully you already asked her out because you're gonna be there, fairly soon. So that's time to Viber her and check, see if she's available and interested.
Okay, from Mark, to answer tonight's poll question, I have been rejected so many times on dates that I don't know how to read a woman's body language. Oh, poor Mark, maybe next day.
Well, go on a tour or something, just have our staff help you. Again, wherever you go, it doesn't have to be a group tour, but our staff or interpreters can help you if you're really struggling. Just tell your interpreter, hey, could you help me out, little help, tips, and she will lead you throughout the date. They've been, a lot of interpreters been doing it for years. They're very good at what they're doing. So just, have the good interpreter. They'll help you out. From Dave, wow, ladies, you look marvelous tonight. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave.
From Sean. Poll question answer, yeah, I've been slapped in the face a couple of times.
Oh
just
my
kidding.
God.
I'm not sure I have misread body language, but I had a date in Kharkov, thought I would at least obtain a kiss at the end, but nothing. Well, that doesn't mean anything. It's just some people, if it was the first or second date, they, just could be one of those reserved individuals. I would not necessarily jump to a conclusion.
From Joe, is the vaccination card the only document we need for our trip as proof of being vaccinated, or do we need another type of documentation?
Wonderful question, Joe. That's what I'm trying to find out myself.
It's only what we have.
That's the thing. So that's all. I did my research on that, and since that's the only proof of vaccination that's available in the United States, well, except few states, they do have this electronic QR codes, but for the most of it,
what is it states?
That's northeast, too far from Arizona, and there's nothing in Arizona. So so the vaccination card is the only proof that we have that we're vaccinated. So that will have to do it for now. In the future, airlines working. So there is an app for IATA, so Airlines Association. There is like 22 airlines participating. App is in a test mode, but pretty much all major airlines will be part of it. And right now it's available by invitation only, so basically it's in a test mode. But once it's up and running, you basically, I think you'll be uploading your test cards there, so you test results there. So you can just show the QR code when you cross on the border, so you don't have to carry your card with you. But the app is not quite there yet. So for now, just bring your card along with you. I'd suggest to laminate it, or just put it in some nice folder, because it's just disintegrates so quick. I had it in my wallet and it already looks like so I just purchased a little sleeve for it on Amazon, like $5, so totally worth it. From Ron, I've misread. She wanted a kiss and I was being too much of a gentleman. Well, yeah, I guess it goes both ways. Well, maybe it's not too late to go back and restart those relationships.
Okay, from Vauxhall, 14 days is a lot, but at least after all that, she will be sure that she wants to date me. Yeah, I think you think it's too much, but after 14 days, you guys know about each other, so much, and then she'll decide. I think it's better date longer than shorter, because you might guys have a good chemistry and you jump in your, marriage, and then nothing else there, so it could be bad. I think the longer your date, the better. My experience, he proposed me like next date. I think it was like really too quick, but we were young and dumb, so so I think the more you date, the better.
From Dennis, would next Philippines trip be January if August is cancelled? No, we do have October Davao technically. Unless you're interested in Cebu, then yes, Cebu would be, next one would be in January. From Chris, and I sent you a few pictures on her and us on your Viber. Yeah, I am looking at it right now. Well, she's cute. Well, you definitely should ask her out again.
Very pretty. Oh my
So
God.
is it Odessa? I mean, where is she from? Odessa, I'm assuming. Ah, yeah, Odessa. I see the Odessa in the background.
You look very good.
Cool.
You're a very nice couple. Good for you.
From Steven, hello ladies, you look amazing as always. Thank you, Steven.
From Sean, a friend of mine got married at 24 in Ukraine, but he lives there.
Oh, good.
Oh, sorry.
From Dave. Hold on.
Wait.
No, I think it's down.
Down?
Yep. No, it's, never mind. Up. Okay, I'm lost. I'm not even trying to navigate the feed. Here's from Dave. No, not this. What's from something from Dave? I just saw his name.
Look amazing.
Yeah. Here's from Dave. I love Dina's micro laughs. That's one way to put it.
I sound terrible on
No,
camera.
Actually, people don't like the sound of their own laugh for the most of it, but come on. From Chuck, great webcast. I saw that airlines flying to Ukraine, like Air France, still require PCR COVID test to get on their airplane. It does not matter what Ukraine allows. Is it true? Poll question, yes, but just ask her and see what she says. Good point. Mm-hmm. As far as the airlines, again, I get mixed information there. I did not quite, I don't have 100% information on that. So for example, I'm flying on Turkish to Ukraine, for the tour. I checked with them. They told me, I'm good because I'm a transit passenger. I cannot say the same thing for Air France because, as you said, every country can have different requirements for transit passengers. So I would call Air France and check with them. So, I can speak for all airlines. From Steven, when I sign into my account, it's automatically on the US side for tours prices, inclusive of flights, but I'll be flying from UK, cannot find any UK information for the same information. Do you have a separate site for UK or EU? Steven, none of our tours include the airfare, and it's only US website. So even if you're flying from UK, it will not change the price of your tour. So it's going to be exactly the same price whether you're coming from Australia, UK, United States, Canada. It's exactly the same price for everyone. Equal opportunity.
From Casey, I don't mind dating anyone my age. I just don't want to get scammed. Well, nobody want to get scammed, and you guys need to look for red flags. Of course, if you are, I don't know, Casey, how old are you? Is
Yeah,
it a
just
guy of 22 years old or a guy 68? Doesn't matter. So just watch for red flags. If you were 68 and suddenly a girl interested in you and she's 30 years old, so it's a red flag. It's impossible. I don't know what could make you believe that 30 years old girl will be interested in 68 years old guy. She still will want a child, because even if she said, I don't want any kids, I decide I don't want to have kids, it's still like instinct, and she'll still try till she's 40 years old to have at least one kid. Also like other things, like take you shopping like next day. I mean, we've been talking about that long time. You guys already probably knows about those red flags. Yeah, just watch out. Don't let nobody scam you.
From Ron, 14 dates to fall in love or to make a decision. Kind of makes it difficult when you're only there for a week and week or two and told to date other women. Well, yeah, that's why it's good to date other women while everybody's making their mind. At least you have some other connections established, so it's not like you're dating each other exclusively. And another stats on that, they say, and people usually make a decision on start dating exclusively after about 5 dates. So so first 3-4 dates,
Well,
coffee
14 dates in general. Of
Yeah, in
course, if
general, so to actually
international
fall in
dating,
love. So
divided by 2 probably if international dating. But between you met her like international dating. So for example, you go to Ukraine on the social, you met her there, and until you get married, like it's in a year or even year and a half, because you have to proceed for fiancé visa, and you're still going to date till that day when she leaves to US. So it's probably going to be about 7 to 10 dates.
Yeah, and she will, her love and affection will grow in the process. So it's not like, okay, that's day 5, date 5 for inclusive, day 14, I'm in love. No, it's a growing process. Two of you will be growing in each other, throughout that time. So yeah, maybe she will completely be madly in love with you after 14 days or whatever it is. But it's gonna take time to get there.
And if everything's fine in Ukraine, you guys fall in love, you have chemistry, everything. So, but she'll have to come here, for example, if you guys live in America, and see if she can even live here. She might get a homesick, and you still guys going to date here. So she'll have 90 days to decide if she want to marry you, or you need to decide if you want to marry her. She might come here and she doesn't even like her. She's going to get homesick or anything. So your dating continues here too. So eventually you will get probably 14 days till you get married.
Our wonderful office manager Leonard sent another message about Thailand status, just to make it a long message short. Looks like they're going to be Thailand grand reopening in August. So if you guys are writing to someone in Thailand, just might as well plan your trip for around August. So Phuket is somewhat open, but just wait another month and you can go wherever you want to go. So just hang in there.
From Ryan, is it possible to pay the fee for the social without going on the tour? Are there any spots open?
No socials only this year, so that's absolutely not an option this year. Unless something drastically changed before November, but I don't see that happening. So 2021 we're doing only full group tours. Check with us next year. Something might change.
Ryan, we have one spot available for kids.
Yeah, but I have full tour. But check with Michelle if it's still available too, because it was available this morning, but we had 7 guys on waiting list. I know she contacted them and see if any of them wanted to join, but they might have other plans, so there is possibility.
So Chris going to Costa Rica in September. Good for
nice. Send us pictures. We'll be jealous. From Ducati, how daunting is the tourist visa to get for Ukrainian citizens? When I go to see my lady, we're going to start the process. Oh, good luck with that. It's unlikely that it's not a difficult process, but it's unlikely.
1% of girls will get a tourist visa?
It's really, really hard to get for single ladies. The reason is she would need to show proof that she has no intentions on getting married with you and stay in the United States, because tourist visa is non-immigrant visa, It's just, for short tourist, tourist visa, go back and forth, go see Disneyland and come back. So she would have to show an extensive proof of her financial situation. So if she is a nurse or teacher and makes $300 a month, she'll never qualify financially. They'll never believe that she can afford, the trip that will cost thousands of dollars. Because, and even if you just would to send her money for this, well, it's still not gonna cut it because they're asking for Ukrainian version of tax returns. So they want to see in bank statements. They want to see where the money is coming from. So, so she's a teacher making $300 a month, and all of a sudden there is $5,000 in her account. That will look suspicious. They will never believe it. So it's really hard to qualify for that. She would need to show her income. She would need to show proof that she maybe owns a real estate, a business, something that she will guarantee that she will return to the United States in the end of that visa. So very, very few ladies, can qualify for that unless they've previously been to the United States or maybe on tourist visas or been models and had a modeling contract here or something else. But that's very few categories will qualify. So you can give it a try. You can apply for it. You will waste $180 now, which is not a big deal, but that's unlikely she's gonna get it. At least you'll get it. They get it out of your system.
Frashan, are all Ukrainian brides in your site expecting the men to be homeowners and well established? I still rent.
Well, I don't think it's a requirement to own a home. It would be nice, but it's not a requirement. I don't know.
No, they're not. They have no idea what you guys own, or if you need to own anything. Of course, a lot of girls renting there. So
yeah,
it's normal.
So it's not a big
and
deal.
here it's probably normal too. Some guys they don't want. Some people don't want to buy a house here.
Yeah, you can always spin it the way. Well, we're gonna buy our house together. That's why I'm renting. There's always the twist to it. From Edward, great webcast as always. Why so negative about Ukraine men? You say they have affairs, but with whom? With women. There is 45% of men versus 55% of women. Well, here's extra 10% to say least, to have affairs with. Yes, with women in Ukraine. Yeah, but again, there is so many single women. What they're supposed to do? There's not enough men for them, so they're supposed to just sit there and just knitting all night long and just watch soap operas. Well, everybody wants love and affection in their life, so it is what it is.
If he's a wealthy guy, for example,
he can afford a few mistresses.
Yeah, fine.
Anyway. Men and women share blame equally. Again, that's not quite the thing in Ukraine.
Not in Ukraine or Russia. Yeah. That's not like that.
Why won't Ukrainian ladies travel to the tourist cities? Because, so imagine you live in New York and somebody tells you, hey, there is a party in North Carolina tonight. Why don't you come? That's why. Because it's in North Carolina. The same. So will she take time off? Most likely unpaid time off. At work, she will spend money on her transportation, a ticket, accommodation, just to go to a party for a few hours. It's way more than she can afford, and most likely to be let down in the end because there is, 300 girls, 30 guys, so she can even sit in the corner all evening. Nobody will talk to her, or maybe she'll get to talk to a few guys, but nothing will come out of it. So it's a lot of, money.
And what if she have a kid? So now she need to find somebody to watch her kid.
That
just
too.
For her to go somewhere, They're good mothers too.
So again, will you travel to North Carolina to attend a party with 300 guys and 30 women? Just do it in reverse. Will you do that? When competition is so high? If you go for 30 women and 300 guys, then Ukraine is small about size of Texas. Again, you drive a car. Ukrainians, for the most of it, don't. So if she lives, let's say, in Mariupol, it's wonderful 15 hours train ride to Kiev. 15 hours there, 15 hours back. Or even if she lives in Poltava, 3 hours there, 3 hours back, social ends at 11 o'clock. There is no train back. There is no bus back at that time. So where is she sleeping? On a train station?
Expensive for her. With
$200 for a cab ride back home. She's not doing it. That's her monthly salary. So nobody would just do that. So I don't think the ladies are serious because they don't want to spend their monthly paycheck traveling, to another city to, possibly to go out on a date. Oh, come on, they're not that desperate.
I bet some of the girls from your list will be like they never heard about you. Some just you know, they just cannot travel for so far for somebody who she never even hear from.
Yeah. So, or even if there was a couple of messages, and so what? I mean, it's still, you know, again, one thing, if you corresponded for a while, there is established connection, it's one thing. But after a couple of messages, it's too much of an investment for, you know, very little result guaranteed. It's not women unserious, it's just, you know, the expectations are not quite right.
I think they're serious because they're not going to do that. It's why I say serious. If they won't be serious, they'll travel wherever. Oh, I'll go there, you know, see the guy. So I think they're very serious.
Yeah, and again, so when we call them and say something like that, they say, well, is it a date? You know, so is he there just to meet me? No, so you know, so it's gonna be individual date with this guy because I'm not traveling all this way for a social because it's for the most of it is pointless. You know, in her case, if he wants just to meet me, which pretty much, you know, normal self-respecting woman would expect, you know, so if he wants to meet me, he will invite me. He will take care of my travel expenses, you know, pay for the cab or train, my accommodation. So if he's really that interested in me, well, he's gonna do that. So why, you know, why would she spend all her paycheck on traveling across the country? You know? When you're gonna be dating 300 other women, why? She can stay in her city and go out with local men, and it will be more productive.
Okay, did you?
Yeah, I just did. Yeah.
All right. Brian, hey Anna, hey Dina, what is a proper greeting on the first date? Shaking her hand or giving her a hug? To answer the poll question, I've been in a friend zone for too long, no dates.
I think hug is for the most of it a little too much. You can try a hug in the end of a date, depending on how conversation went. Just watch your body language, how open she is to you, so you can go for a light hug in the end. But I would not start a date with a hug necessarily, unless she's a hugger, unless she's initiate that herself.
I say no hugs, guys. Okay, no hugs at first date. First of all, it's COVID. Still like COVID going there. But just kidding. But no hugs. Just gently shake her hand. It will be nice. Always work.
From Mark, I have a picture of my vaccine card on my phone, which is great, but still take the actual card when you travel because the cell phone picture is not going to cut it.
Steven, can you take a photo of your COVID vaccine on your phone or a copy of the COVID vaccines that you would carry with you on a trip?
So I would not worry about, photographing your phone is good just for maybe some local things here and there, but not for international travel. So just have an original card with you when you travel. You might want to have a copy with you just in case when you just keep walking around town. That should be enough for like some venues, but not the serious international travel. David, by the way, we don't speak Ukrainian, just to make it. So David is saying something in Ukrainian. So
is it David who learned that language?
Could be, but the problem, we did not learn Ukrainian, so that's a little problem there.
But it's funny. Oh
yeah,
gosh, I'm going to laugh.
Anyway, back to the question. Do the girls always use their translation service? Sometimes it seems the girls who say they speak good English have poor translation. Do they practice English in their letters? For the most of it, no, and they just don't want to even bother. There is an interpreter, it's free for them, so why not use it? When there was the easier route, who would we choose the more complicated one?
From Dave, that really shows how you guys are the best. Thank you for amazing professional AFA. Really is.
Oh, thank you, Dave.
Thank you. Again, Dave.
AFA gives each person the time of day. That they're kind and considerate, and they're people with a heart. Well, right. Good to hear.
Thank you, Dave.
Do we have any more questions? And we're going to be wrapping up. Do we? Anything? Last moment? We have a couple minutes left, so let's see if we can squeeze in something, Maybe. Oh, sounds like something's coming. Let's give it a try. So, anyway, guys, I think it was a good webcast. Hopefully got some information out of it, and hopefully we'll have more news next week about travel situation. So more countries will open up. Again, I don't really hope for China or Philippines much, but You know, Peru can be. Some of you guys traveling to Colombia. Somebody was asking about curfew in Colombia. So some cities have curfew, some not, and the time is different for each place. So for some it's like 8 p.m. For some it's 10 p.m. So it just just depends. Okay, here's the last one from McKissick for today. Speaking of Colombia, do you offer any package deals for a man who might want to try both Colombia and Ukraine? Not also. I mean, you'll just pay for each separate trip. You want to go Colombia? No problem. We can put it together. Want to go Ukraine? The same thing, but there is, a combination there, unfortunately. Well, on this wonderful note, let's wrap it up. And guys, thank you for watching. It has been a pleasure as always, and looking forward to seeing you next Monday.
Thank you guys. Till next time. Good night.
Good night.
Good morning, guys. Today we're in Kyiv and we want to show you this beautiful city today. This is Premier Palace Hotel and where we usually stay, Premier Rus Hotel. And we will show you around, we will show you the currency exchange, we will show you what are the prices in Kyiv and what a beautiful sunny weather today that will help you with us.
Hello guys! Here is the Independence Square and there is the heart of Kyiv city. There are a lot of things to see. There are a lot of restaurants with Ukrainian national food. And not only, also you can find Italian and Georgian, and possible you will find even something more interesting. There are a lot of shoppings here. Downstairs there is a big shopping mall. You can buy their brands from the whole world. Also, there are hotels where you can live in. Welcome to our Kyiv! You can rent apartment, you can live in Hayat or Ukraine or Dnipro or Hrestyatик, and I'm sure you will like all these places. Now we are in a very beautiful restaurant with a great view. You can look it right now. And as you see, everything is available. Restaurants are open, squares are open, and our Kyiv staff and people in Ukraine are waiting for you very, very much. Welcome to our Kyiv.
One of my most favorite places is this new pedestrian bridge, which was recently opened. It is connecting the Arch of Friendship of all nations together with St. Volodymyr Hill, which is right there. The bridge gives you a wonderful view to the city center on one side and the Dnieper River on the other. Even the weather is welcoming you. Let's also walk through the streets of Vozdvizhenka and take a look at this nice but a little bit fake historical building.
Hello guys, my name is Victoria. I'm office manager of AFA Kyiv office. I'm happy to greet you finally. We reopened, we start our full functioning work. We attracted many new ladies profiles. We had a service like Skype calls, video calls to help you to be in contact with people and women you like and whom you plan to meet in the future in Kyiv when the flights will be resumed. And I'm sure that ladies are willing and ready to finally go for dates and communicate with you in real time, in real life.
You are very welcome.
Our favorite McDonald's is open, so we are ready to go and try our favorite Big Mac. Welcome!